All right, it is Tuesday morning, and I happen to have the week off. I also happen to have two, possibly three, Euro mounts that I need to do. One from a buck I killed this season, one from a buck that my buddy shot in November, but we didn't find until recently. So it's a deadhead, and I got Saturday and Sunday off, so I'm going to do those. I got to reading online about the best way to do your own Euro mounts, and there is a DIY buck boiler system that you can do with a feed bucket and a water heating element. And it's supposed to work really, really well. So I'm going to put that together this morning and test it, and hopefully it works great so that I can do those Euro mounts this weekend. What a roller coaster of a season it has been. She came in downwind and actually winded me. Alright, so what we're going to need to make our DIY buck boiler is a feed bucket. I got this from Tractor Supply. I got this particular one because it's a lot thicker. It's going to be able to actually handle the hot water, and it's got a flat back, which is going to make mounting that water heating element inside really easy. The next thing I got is a 1-inch conduit hub, and this one is watertight. Basically, I drill a 1-inch hole, I put this in there, I run this through the other side of the bucket, and put it in there, and then the last piece of it, my water heating element, will then slide in there, and it is watertight as well. And then when I run power to this, I'll basically have the water heating element inside the bucket. When I fill it up with water, the water heating element will heat the water just enough to simmer or lightly boil these deer skulls when I put them in there. And then the last thing that I do is I've got an old extension cord that I'm basically going to cut and wire into this thing, and then when I get it wired in, I've got some electrical tape that I'm going to use to make sure that everything is covered. So I'm going to get to work on that. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is pick a spot on my bucket to drill this thing out, and I'm just going to go a little bit up from the bottom, just enough where I can screw that thing in without it touching, and I'm going to drill a 1-inch hole. And I was sizing this thing up earlier, and that 1-inch hole looks like it's going to be a little bit tight. And so I've got a pocket knife to kind of whittle it out if I need to. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, it's definitely going to need a little bit of room. So I'm going to take this knife and whittle it out just a little bit. So now we take the other side and we put it in the bucket. And that should be a watertight seal. I'm gonna grab me a set of pliers and give that some torque just in case. But it should be watertight. And our water heating element should just screw right into the back of there. I may, because the bucket's kind of wanting to work right where I nailed in there. If I need to, I can always add some silicone, but I believe that's going to be watertight. The next thing I'm going to do is take this old extension cord, and I want to keep most of the cord, so I got some reach if I need it. And I'm going to take the female end, and I'm basically just going to pop it off. Alright, from everything I was reading online, you want to connect the neutral and the active wire, and you want to not connect the ground wire and I had to do some reading because I'm not an electrician and make sure I knew which color the ground was. So I'm basically just going to snip that off there. And then I'm going to strip these other two. Where's my wire cutters here? This has got a little bit of wire showing here, so I'm going to tape it up. I'm not going to tape the back up just in case I've wired it up wrong until I'm sure it's working. So the next step is I'm going to dump some water in here and plug it in and make sure that it heats water. If it heats water, we're good to go. On Saturday, we can boil some heads. So that's the finished buck boiler. We've got a water heating element inside. We've got an old extension cord wired into it. And we've got a feed bucket. This feed bucket cost 10 bucks. The water heating element cost 10 bucks. The extension cord was an old one that I already had. And I really didn't need anything else to make this thing. So you're into it about 20 bucks, maybe 30 if you gotta buy an extension cord. But it looks like it's gonna be really good. I'm excited to try it out. In fact, I'm gonna go get some water right now and make sure that this thing actually works. All right, we are now watertight. That took some doing. I'm going to plug this in and we're going to see if it heats up water. Hopefully I don't shock myself. I'm already starting to see some bubbles on that thing, which means I think it is heating water. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have a buck boiler. Well, there you have it. $20, $30 buck boiler tops. I'm gonna make another video that shows like the actual Euro mount process, so you guys will get to see how good this works. But so far so good. See you this weekend.